Third Phase of Moon, Blake Cousins. Welcome back, world. We are broadcasting live again. It is Friday night. And let me tell you, there are higher powers out there, and they try to suppress this show. Let me tell you, just within the past hour, who knows who tried to call in. But let me tell you, we get calls from around the world, people. And that's what we love. People sharing their UFO experiences to us, to the world, live, Rob, as we do it. And we're doing it again, but let me tell you, I got a feeling there are people being tracked, being followed around the world in regards to this. They know the people that have the vital information. They know the people's phone numbers. They know where they're calling from. You have cell phones. You got major vital information. You want to share it to us right now, Third Phase of Moon. I got a feeling there are people right now in higher powers that want to shut that down. And they could shut it down. Let me tell you that, people. So what we're going to do is we're going to break rules, people. We're going to not shut anything down. We want you to share your vital information to us, Third Phase of Moon. Stand by. This is Blake Cousins, and it is July 1st, 2016, 7:04 p.m. Hawaii time. Welcome, world. Blake Cousins. Stand by, everybody. Third Phase Moon, Blake Cousins broadcasting live. And yeah, it is actually July 2nd on the East Coast. It's amazing how we broadcast live from around the world with a massive time differential going on. It's almost like time travel. So let's get to it. We've got calls calling up. We want more phone calls calling in. We want good information. So we're going to get to people right now. Let's bring them in. I want to hear news stories, things I've never heard before. That's why we broadcast. So if you got something you want to share tonight, that's incredible. Let's get to it. Area code 214. You're live, Third Phase Moon. Welcome to the show. Yeah, 214. You there? Look at this. Who knows what's going on? They want to cut it. They want to cut the feeds. Like I said, I want to hear new stuff. Let's maybe that's what they're trying to do, suppress this stuff. Who knows? 330, we're live.
330 right here. Can you hear me?
I got you, man. Where are you calling in from?
Calling in from Ohio, Warren, Ohio. I've been listening to your show for a while. Very interested in it. I don't know if you got my messages that I sent you on your. But I've seen a couple of UFOs twice, actually. The first time, 2009, I was outside and I had these radio control helicopters, and I was flying one, and as I'm looking up, I see what appeared to be a silver sphere in the sky, and it was, he's still there because the phone's real silent.
Yeah, I got you, man. Hey, thanks for calling in. What was your name again? I didn't get that.
My name's Kevin. Like I said, Kevin, I sent you a couple of messages on your Third Phase of Moon Facebook page.
All right, Kevin. So it looks like these Apache helicopters are like.
No, I was flying. I know there's a delay, so I'll give you a second before I start speaking. Anyways, I was flying some radio control helicopters, and outside, and it was the middle of the day, nice day, beautiful day. And as I'm flying it, I'm looking up, and I see what appeared to be a silver sphere in the sky, and it was floating south, real slow. And I couldn't really tell how high up it was. I'd say maybe 2,000 or 3,000 feet, something like that. And floating real slow, it made a turn southeast real quick. It didn't like blow with the wind. It just shifted. And it kept going. I watched it for as long as I could, and there was a couple other people that saw it too. And I know, I wasn't an airplane. I know it wasn't a helicopter for sure because I know what a helicopter looks like. I'm flying a radio control helicopter right then. It wasn't a balloon, I don't believe, because it wasn't blowing with the wind. It was under its own control. So that was quite weird. The second time was about a year ago, a little more than a year ago. Me and my cousin are sitting out on the porch, and we're looking out past like these trees, and we both see what appeared to be a orange flame in the sky, and it was floating real slow. And as it's going, it actually shoots out a small white orb, like a ball, and it shot out real fast, and then it stopped real fast, and it looked just like any star in the sky. I mean, if I wouldn't have seen it go, I wouldn't, think twice about it. But the orange flame kept going real slow, and the ball stayed there. And I said to my cousin, I was like, "Did you see that ball come out?" And he was like, "Yeah, I was just about to ask you if you saw it." And, weird. I mean, I don't understand what else it could be.
Well, there's a question for you. Describe this ball. Did it make it sounds like you can't describe it. It doesn't look like a balloon, obviously, right?
The first one, no, it didn't look like a balloon. Wasn't making any noise at all. I just hear it. It was just silently. Like I said, it didn't. It like
right.
made a.
I'm getting some feedback there, but I appreciate the call in 330. When you're flying these drones around, you're enthusiasts out there flying drones. You're always having your eyes up on the sky, so there's a lot more opportunity for people to see these UFOs while that's going on. It's cool. These enthusiasts, stargazers, drone enthusiasts, they're looking up, so they're more bound to see a UFO, other than most common people that walk the streets with their heads looking down at the ground. It's the worst thing you could possibly do. Hold your head high, people. Let's get to it. Next caller, you're on live. I hope you got a news story. I want to hear good news stories, so let's get to it. 606, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Yep, gotcha.
Hey, can you hear me? Right?
Yeah, I got you. Loud and clear. What's your name?
Hey, this is Matt Lowe.
All right, Matt.
I tried calling in the other day, man, and I couldn't get through. But I had a story I wanted to share about this the whole UFO thing, man. I figure I'll just go ahead and jump right into it. I'm 31 years old, man, and never ever in my entire life have I ever seen a UFO until about a month ago. And my wife and I, we live in a place up here on the hill real close to the mountain, and it's one of the most beautiful places in East Tennessee that, it gets really, really clear at night. The skies do, and you just see all kinds of stars. It's really awesome. And, we take our dogs out at night and stuff like that. And we were just out one night, and we happened to notice there was like certain stars that you tried to look at, and it would be hard to focus on them. And as we got to looking, we noticed that this one was moving, and it just moved real slow across the top of our house, and then disappeared right before our eyes. Well, I started paying attention and started going out like every night and paying closer and closer attention. And I noticed this started up until, like I said, this happened for the first time in my life. I saw this about a month ago. And here in the last couple weeks, it's been almost every single day. And even when I called in the other day, I was outside pacing around listening to the show, waiting to get on. And even while I was waiting to talk to you, I saw one. And it's just been happening more and more. But the strangest thing, Blake, was just the other night, I would say 3 nights ago, I wouldn't even have noticed it except I happened to just look up and seen something black out a star. And it was a completely like solid black triangle that was just a little bit darker than the rest of the sky. And it was really, really quiet that night. And I watched it kind of go a little bit to the left and then curve around and then come right, like almost directly overhead of where I was standing. and when it did, it stopped, and I could actually hear like a low electrical hum, which was crazy. And my puppy bumped into my leg at that moment, and I looked down just for a moment and looked back up, and I had lost it just for a second, but I could still hear it. And as I was looking around, I saw it black out another star, and then it just took off right over the mountain. I mean, just quick as could be.
Nice.
And I mean, it's really, really crazy, man, because it seems like this kind of thing is like I said, I'd never seen anything like this my whole life. I've always been interested in things like this. So when I saw it, it's just been amazing, man, because I listen to your show, and like you said, it's starting to happen more and more, and I'm taking notice to it even now, and it's just something I find to be just really, really cool and strange all at the same time.
This is what Third Phase of Moon is all about. People that get to share their incredible UFO sightings to the world, and that's what we're doing right now. Again, can you give the exact time and date and location on this? Maybe people in the area saw the exact same thing.
The triangle thing, like I said, that happened 3 days ago, so that would be around, I would say. Actually, no, that was June 27th. It was on Monday. That's right. It was just a few days ago, and then the other night when you had I think it was Wednesday night when you had the last show. That was the other sighting that I saw.
Wow. That's amazing.
And that's here in East Tennessee, in La Follette, Tennessee.
Amazing. You're trying to call in on the show, report a live UFO sighting, and the lines get clogged up. But I appreciate that you made the call in tonight, because that's very important. We got a lot of calls lining up, but I got to get to the next caller. But hey, thanks for calling.
Yeah, man. That's awesome, man. Thank you for letting me share.
Absolutely. That's what we do, people. That's what we do. And remember, we do this every Friday, and we might have to do this more often because we can't get to everybody, and that's amazing. The number to call in tonight, if you got a UFO sighting, something nobody's ever heard before, 347-934-0378 is the number to call in. We're going to try this caller again, see if that 214 that dropped out. We're going to try to bring. No, oh, there you are. Okay. I'm glad we made it. You there?
Yes. Hey, Blake.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
What's your name?
Good, Blake. My name's Kurt.
Sorry. What was your name?
My name's Kurt.
Hey, Kurt. All right. You want to share something new to the world right now? We'd sure like to hear it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, all right. So I've actually, all my life, I'm 22. And my whole life I've always, I guess, paid attention to the sky. And I've always noticed, I've seen a lot of UFOs, put it simply, I guess. A couple months ago, I live in Colorado in Denver, and I was actually in Lakewood, Colorado. I looked up in the sky, and me and a buddy of mine had been looking up in the sky. We had just been hanging out that night, and we noticed in the sky there were we would see three lights at 3 points in the sky, forming a almost triangle shape. But then we noticed from those lights inward, it was almost a shadow, shaded, form of a ship. And when we finally could tell and make out the full shape of this thing was huge. It was actually, it probably was at least 1.5 miles long. And me and my buddy could attest to this. if I ever could call him when he was around. But the craziest part about this is when we actually could tell, it out from the sky, that's the point we noticed there was 3 of them. And it was literally covering almost the entire skyscape, I guess, of Denver. But it would be hard to tell because it was almost like they were spread out within a few miles apart over from each other, and they were it would be the shading difference between that and the actual sky would have been very hard to just notice the difference.
This phenomenon of 3 lights creating a formation, obviously a triangular formation, is quite common. I've seen one up close. Let me tell you, huge. As it passed over us right over here on the Hamakua coast, changed a lot of people's lives out were there with us at the time. But so, what do you think this was? Military, extraterrestrial? Your opinion?
Well, personally, me and my buddy kind of agreed. It seemed like they were too big of a mass altogether to be man-made. In my opinion, in my buddy's opinion, it was extraterrestrial, definitely.
How big was this thing?
Well, I mean, me and my buddy kind of guessed because from where we were, it looked like it was almost a mile to a mile and a half long.
The one we saw, we estimated it to be almost slightly under a mile. It's maybe about 3/4 of a mile in massness. But then there was a bunch of lights surrounding this thing as well, dancing around it. Was there any kind of UFO phenomenon around the craft at the time you witnessed it? It's great that you had your buddy there at the same time. That's great.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Me and my buddy, we actually have been paying attention to the skies lately, and we actually, not that night, we didn't notice that night, but we noticed a couple nights prior that basically there was a bunch of odd lights in the sky that were moving at very, high speeds. I mean, much faster than the average, man-made plane or jet. I'm former military, so, I think I would know at least. To some extent, I don't find myself, it's not like in any way I find myself privy to any high-up secrets or nothing, but...
Sure. Can you give me your rank? What military branch did you serve?
I was a Lance Corporal.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you.
Marine Corps.
Wow, the Marines. Man, thanks for serving. Always love the military, confirming what we already know, that they've seen the best. They've seen the state-of-the-art stuff. So when military personnel come forward and can say, hey, look, this is one of ours, that's what I like. Appreciate the call in, man. We got a lot of callers, so I got to get to them all if I can.
Definitely. Well, thanks for having me on, man.
Appreciate it. Stay tuned because I got a feeling we'll be hearing from this guy in the future. We got some people lined up. We have F1. He's online. We have to get to Elizabeth Richards. I think Elizabeth has something. I don't know. She emailed me today and says she can't talk about it on the phone, but she's trying to call in. So maybe we'll bring her in. We got a caller from San Diego. It looks like Kelly's back. But before we get to that, I want to get to this anonymous caller, because when they call in anonymous, whoever they may be, it could be quite interesting. You're live. Welcome to the show. Hello. That's you. Nope. All right. We'll drop them. Let's see what's going on here. Everybody, stand by. Let's do this. We'll take a quick break. Nobody's going anywhere. Blake Cousins, stand by, everybody. All right, here we go. We're back. We're live, and we're broadcasting. Thank goodness, because we don't care about you higher powers trying to shut this down. I don't care who calls in on this show. We're going to let you say what you want, because that's what Third Phase of Moon does. We broadcast every week and let the public speak. Let me tell you, it's quite important. There's a lot of info out there, so let's get to it. Let's bring them in. I want to thank Lisa Walker One. We have to do all we can so people feel supported when they call in. So thank you, Lisa, for supporting us in the Flash Chat. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody in the Flash Chat. David, Corey, everybody. And there's a lot of them. And they stuck around even though they try to shut us down. Let me tell you what. Am I rhyming a bunch of stuff tonight? I don't know. So let's bring him in. Is that you, Betsy?
Yep.
Betsy, what's going on? Is everything okay? You said there's things going down. What's going down?
I don't really want to talk about it on the air real much, but I was abducted again about 5 days ago.
Why don't you want to talk about it on air? That's what Third Phase of Moon's all about, sharing this stuff. You've been listening.
Yeah.
And what? You've been part of this for years. Now I'm kind of, what? You're the one that's one of the first callers into Third Phase of Moon years ago. You've been abducted. Now you don't want to tell anybody about this?
Well, I want to talk about it. It wasn't a very good experience. It was about 3:34, and something came in my room, and the next thing I know, I woke up on my couch, sitting straight up 2 hours later with my pajamas on backwards. And I can't really remember too much. I'm trying to. But I think I'm going to go get, try to have a recall, pay somebody to have a hypnosis type thing done to see what's been going on lately.
Hypnotic regression.
Yeah, because I've been having a lot of missing time lately. So, because I moved my studio from the basement to the garage, which is next to my backyard. So, there's been a lot of ships lately and just a lot of weird activity. And I was supposed to have surgery, and my knee that I was supposed to get replaced doesn't hurt anymore, which is strange. So I don't know. It's been I haven't felt right ever since I was taken and abducted. I don't know what happened. I just know there's a lot of missing time, and when I saw it come in my room, I don't know what it was. It's just been strange for the last 5 days. I've been trying to get a hold of F1 and talk to him, but he's had phone problems, but I think he's on hold waiting.
All right. Oh, hold on. I'm going to try and fix up the audio. There seems some echo, but how about this? I'll patch you into F1 right now. He's on the line, so I'm glad we got a secure line here, and it's solid. So stay tuned. Hold on.
What's up, Blake?
Hey, dude.
Hey, what's up, Betsy?
Just been kind of weird the last couple of days. You know, I've been trying to get a hold of you, and you've had phone problems, and just haven't been right since. My knee doesn't hurt anymore. I don't know if they healed me or what they did, but it was a real weird, you know, abduction. It's not like the first time either, you know, so I'm not sure really what happened.
It's kind of interesting, the timing that you moved your studio, you know, down from basically below ground up to where I see all kinds of videos from you and your pictures from your house in the backyard. That thing's like LAX at rush time as far as, I mean, it's crazy in your backyard. But same thing here is like, you know, I have very secure electronics and state-of-the-art type of 4-processor laptops that are made by the company that makes all the motherboards for every computer in the world. And ever since I was, you know, talking about with the last week's caller about Michael J. Magaha, I believe Magaha, and you know, was let my name be known that it's very similar to that. Sure enough, later on that night, heard some weird noises outside. The dogs started going off. I can see everything around my house, and one of my Mercedes alarms went off, and there was nobody around, nobody at all. And heard some other stuff later. It went off again. I've owned the car for over 20 years. The alarm has never got off. It's sitting in a driveway with a gated yard at top of the hill on a corner. And then my computer, which normally runs beautiful, all of a sudden it will have interruptions in the internet, even though the internet is processing 100 megabytes per second at top speed. The phone decided all of a sudden a brand new Samsung Note 4 that I take such good care of my stuff. It hasn't left the house. It's in a triple case. All of a sudden now that doesn't work, and there's the talk with the technician. He can't understand.
This is what I was talking about. That there's possibly targeted people, and we're trying to cut and shut the information down. Is that what you think's happening? That's one.
Oh, no doubt. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And when you guys come out, and if you have a chance to swing by and come to this house, you will see the credibility of what I'm saying is that I could see almost 360 degrees over my wall around this at the top of the hill. And as soon as I reported, you know, and got a little bit of information, which I don't always give personal information to you guys as long as I've known you, sure enough, a car alarm that never has gone off went off twice in the same night right after that. My computer that is state-of-the-art and very protected with incredible spy and adware, state-of-the-art stuff. All of a sudden, that stops working, and I can't figure out how to reboot it and how to get the programs working. And all of a sudden, the Windows operating program, which is an operating system, is gone from the computer. It's just gone. And I spoke with several technicians and people in the know, and they say that can't happen. That can't happen. They say, well, what do you mean? How does that happen? My brand new phone, I'm telling you, that's a Note 4 is it's not the newest Note, but it's so powerful. It's 4 months old. It's in a triple case. It stopped working completely. It's just freaking bizarre. And you know what? The alarm hasn't gone off since that night, and it has never gone off for 20 years before that night. You can hit it with a car and it won't go off. I mean, you physically have to enter the car. So the timing is just too much to disassociate. And like with Betsy when she moved her studio, and then I've been talking with her along this. She's had a lot of physical problems, and she moves her studio up, and now stuff that was very serious and scheduled for surgeries no longer hurt. And, all this stuff is just coincidence is proof of reality. That's what I believe.
It does get confirmed. This phenomenon, and there's a circle of people out there. Everything's all good here. There's some audio that I heard, but I don't know. It seems like we're still online, so that's a good thing. That's, third phase of moon. You just never know when it could get blacked out, but we're strong. The people are uniting. They're sharing their stuff, and how that Betsy shared her encounter, even though she wasn't wanting to do it. She better do it, in my opinion, because if you've been abducted by aliens, you don't tell anybody. It's a burden to hold. Let me tell you, it's a hard thing to tell. But Third Phase Moon, we broadcast because we know it's important. We're going to try and bring back Anonymous. F1, stick around. Maybe F1 could ask some questions here. Let's see, Anonymous, you there? We'll give you one more chance. Speak up.
Yes, I'm here. I'm a different Anonymous from the one you called earlier. But
well, sure. You're coming in on a line I can't recognize. So anybody that calls in on a line I can't recognize, which is fine, I call them anonymous. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
My name is John. I'm over in the Great Lakes area by Canada, and recently, actually not recently, last 2 years ago, a friend of mine and we seen this fire in the sky. It wasn't round. It looked like a fire, right, in the sky, and it stood there for like 15 minutes, and it slowly just went down. And we've been trying to figure out what it was. I've been going through all the Blog Talk Radio UFO shows and sightings to try to find similar stories, but I haven't really found one. Have you heard of a story similar to that? Of what I'm telling you?
This is what I want you to do when you have a chance, because I think I know what you're witnessing. There's incredible video of it, and we have proof in Third Phase Moon from viewers that submit this. But if you could check out, and you might need to get a pen and paper for this, but remember this. Just remember Becky Lewis. And check out Becky Lewis, Third Phase of Moon, and it should come up, and you'll see her incredible capture of what looks to be fire in the sky, let me tell you. So Becky Lewis, Third Phase of Moon. And stay tuned, because we're going to broadcast this video tonight, and you'll see exactly what I mean in regards to your photograph. And I don't know, it could be something. It could be space debris. It could be even a meteor that the media or NASA's not telling us about. They don't want to scare everybody. Or massive, ugly chemtrails. I don't know. But when you look at Becky Lewis's video, they do these things that don't make any sense. So it doesn't look like it's one of ours, in my opinion. So hopefully you can look that up, sir. John.
Okay. Yep. I think I've seen it. I see it right now. It's What the Heck Dragon Tail UFO Streaks. I think this is not exactly what mine was, more round, but I'll take a look. Thank you for telling me. All right. I'm going to check it out.
All right, man. Hey, well, yeah, not every sighting is the same. And let me tell you, when you try the description of the UFO, unidentified flying object, is about one of the hardest things to explain. And that's what people try and do on the phone, and that's cool, and that's great. Good detail, incredible information. Video is always good. Video backup is great. We're going to go to area code 619. Let's bring him in. He's been on for a while. 619, you there?
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
Am I on there?
Yeah, you're on the air. What, you calling in from San Diego, sir?
Yeah, San Diego. My name's Steve. I'm from San Diego. I emailed you about a week or so ago about a story I'd sent to you, and you told me to call in on Friday night. I don't know if you recall me or not, but I have a unique story that happened. It started happening back when I was around 8 years old, and I was a child, basically getting ready to go to bed, lying in my bed. And it came out of nowhere. It just appeared about 1.5 feet above me. It was an orb the size of a basketball that was red and orange, and it was swirling within itself. And I had no fear of the object. I actually reached up and held it and pushed on it. And I don't have any recollection of it leaving, only that I woke up the next morning, thought about it, and the very, very next night, I went to bed. I was laying in bed, and the same thing happened. It appeared above me again. I had a complete sense of serenity. There was no fear whatsoever. I held it again, and the same thing happened. I don't recall it leaving. I woke up the next morning, and for probably about 3 or 4 consecutive nights when I went to bed, I tried to do exactly what I had done that night, those 2 nights that it appeared, when it never came back. But surprisingly enough, I had forgotten about this for a period of about 35 years. Meanwhile, during that period of time, I had a couple of experiences, one very vivid, and I can't say factually that these were conscious abductions, but one was an experience out where we kept our horses. It was a very secluded area. I had a tall gray approach me at our gateway and told me that everything would be okay, walked me to a disc-shaped craft where a smaller gray walked me into the center of the craft, told me we were going to go straight up and come straight back down, and that's the last I remember. But I remember the inside of this craft in fine detail. And across the room, of the inside of the craft, there was a tall gray standing across the room. I had another similar experience, but up the road from where we kept our horses, of another craft and a tall gray, but I don't remember anything beyond that. But during this time, over the years, I've just had an insatiable appetite for learning about UFOs. And 35 years later, and I've done this probably a dozen times, where if you hold your hands together, that you can feel the pressure of your energy between your hands. And it was just one day I was showing my wife, I was saying, now try this. You can feel this energy between your hands. And all that memory came back of this orb entering my room. I just recently, probably about 11 years ago, was able to identify a second scoop mark on my leg, and it also had along my leg some brownish scabs that took literally years for them to go away. I'd scratch the surface of them off, and they would come back. I mean, it was just, I've got a deep triangular-shaped scoop, my most recent one, like I said, about 11 years ago. But I've never heard, and I followed this, and I followed the ufology for so long, I've never heard of anybody actually holding an orb or being allowed to touch an orb. So, and I don't know what that relationship is other than that they presumably come from crafts, whether they're organic or mechanical, I have no idea, but I wanted to share that with you, Blake. I think it's unique, and it's been a life-changing experience for me.
Well, I got to appreciate the phone call, and I got to appreciate the time and place it's shared, and this is quite amazing. It's almost been 4 decades since this encounter with this alien gray. It sounds like you've been taken aboard the ship, I want to hear more about this gray. How old were you at this time? When
I had the horses, I was in probably about 10th grade, so I was probably about 16. And you know what, Blake, what's really unique about it? I saw one story about a girls' school in South Africa where the little girls were drawn to a hillside where a UFO had landed. And one girl, when she told why she was drawn to this craft, she said that she saw her favorite animal. It was a moose. And the funny thing about this was this tall gray had the face of my sister. And it was my sister's face that was telling me everything was going to be all right. Now, I've heard stories that of them being able to control what you see, and I really find that bizarre because I remember this so clearly, but I can't say that I was wide awake, although I can't say it's a dream. What teenager dreams of boarding UFOs, when it was just a period of time that I had these consecutive dreams, and I really suspect that I have had other experiences similar to that. But I had gone through regressive hypnosis about 10 years ago, and I was unable to be, regressed. So I haven't been able to get any deeper than my recall of what happened, but it was very real to me. But in all honesty, I can't say because it's dreamlike.
Yes. That is quite amazing because I've had my surreal dreams too. And it seems like I still can't shake it to this day. And it happened almost, as you would say, it's been decades. And so I was talking about it the other night. It really, you have a lot of dreams, but some stand out more than others. And at that age, and with the scoop marks, man, you got to watch out for that because let me tell you, when people are abducted and they have these things, your brain can't handle it sometimes. So the memory's suppressed, and then it seems like a dream, but it wasn't. It was a reality. It was the actual physical abduction or invitation, whatever. To me, I think it's a special event. And, man, that's quite amazing. People want to share their information. That's really cool. Third Phase Moon is a place to do it. We got a few minutes left, and I want to bring in more people. Let's do this. Let's do it right now. Are you there? Hopefully the audio is good. 865. You're live, Third Phase Moon.
Hello.
Yep. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Blake?
Oh, pretty good, man. We got a few minutes left. We want a good UFO experience. Welcome to the show. What's your name, sir?
What's up? Name's Rob.
Menjral?
Rob. R-O-B.
Oh, right on, Rob. Right on, Rob. Where are you from?
East Tennessee, Knoxville.
All right. Tennessee. Well, it's amazing. We just there was a video that came out from a training ground out of Tennessee of what looked to be some kind of square UFO. We released it last night. In the middle of the night, this guy captured it from his tent, and he's training out there. Yeah, so that's on our latest update.
That's interesting. So, I was actually calling in response to a call that was on your radio show tonight.
Really? What's the response?
There was a man that called from East Tennessee as well, from La Follette, saying that he had witnessed stars move across the sky. And, I've always been interested as far as stars and space exploration goes, but it never really interested me until I was out in my yard one night by myself. I just had a bonfire, and it was calming down. I just happened to look up, kind of sitting back, and I was watching, and I looked up, and I could see 3 stars, moving together in a pattern, and it was like they looked just like every other star in the sky, but they were moving together, and they moved about, I'd say, 30 to 40 miles, and I could still barely see them, and they just vanished. They were gone.
This confirms the first caller in. So there's a confirmation of this event over Tennessee. This is amazing. Go ahead. I want to hear more detail.
Well, the weird thing is, it was a normal night, and I've never really, researched into anything like this. And after that night, I started kind of digging around at stuff, and I found your channel on YouTube, and I found your radio show actually just last week or the week before last. It was when the caller had called in about the Magaha, and I started doing some research then, and I've watched videos, and actually I'm ordering a telescope at the moment to kind of sit out here in my yard. It's kind of open back here. I don't have any trees, so I've got an open sky to kind of watch out and look, But it was just amazing to me because I've never seen anything like that before.
Well, what's amazing is that the world, for some odd reason, wants to find out more about this phenomenon happening right now. And it so happened that you saw this in sounds like the same night. So when exactly was this? It happened within this week, right? This sighting in Tennessee?
Yeah, it's happened way more than once. It's been...
Yep.
I've seen it on numerous occasions.
Is there any military bases close by to your proximity?
Maybe about 30 to 50 miles away. Not really any major ones, but, a few little minor ones here and there.
Well, you know what? It's just what's amazing is that whatever's going on over Tennessee, it doesn't sound normal. It sounds absolutely stealth. And it sounds massive. And it sounds like they're doing something, whoever they are. Let's bring in another call. Hey, thanks for that confirmation, man. That's incredible. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, people. Confirmation. Let's get to the next caller. Let's bring him in. 865, you're live, Third Phase Moon. I think we're going to bring him in right here. I think it's 805. 805, you're there. Hello? 805, you there? You got one more chance. You called in. Moving along. Let's try 925. Did we get to 925 yet?
This is 925.
925, welcome to the show. We've got a few minutes left.
Perfect. A few minutes is all I need.
Thanks for joining us.
You got it. I just want to say I was on the line 3 weeks ago. It was my first time, and it was during the experience when the phone lines were getting shut down. Even tonight, I was on for an hour and a half, before the show, and right when the show started, I got cut off. I got to talk to F1 for a little bit that night. But I shared my experience about my UFO sighting from that day, and since then I hadn't seen one. It's been about 3 weeks. But 2 weeks ago, a woman, I believe her name was Becky, she shared, this is a corroboration story, she shared a story about a UFO she had seen up in Oregon, in this Northern California hemisphere, a UFO that she had seen that was moving across the sky supposedly like a satellite, but as you could see it, it was moving a little faster. The rate of speed and its positioning in the stratosphere was definitely not where a satellite would be because you could see it interacting slightly. But she saw this thing stop, right, and shift in the sky and move up in arcs, very rapidly and fast, and then shoot off in another direction super fast. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, my God, this was my first UFO sighting 20 years ago when I saw my first UFO sighting. And it just had seemed to even line up to the same time period. And it was just another little shred of evidence to myself that, this has been a very clear portion of our experience here,
It's incredible. I'm just going over a memory. My nephew, young Cameron, he was out there. We live in Hawaii, clear skies in the world, right? And he was looking up in the sky and said, look, take a look at that. And we're like, and I was there with a friend, and we don't have the best vision, my brother and I, and our friend, but I noticed a light, and we're like, oh, well, that's just a satellite or a star. Well, it's a satellite, it's moving. But then all of a sudden it just stopped in midair.
And it's
way up there. So what are these things? Eyes on the skies? I don't know about satellites stopping in midair. That's not what they do.
That's my thoughts exactly.
And it was really incredible that young Cameron, my nephew, I think he's about 8, he knew it wasn't normal too. And we're like, it just stopped there. And we had a really good vision on it. We were looking at it for 10 seconds, saying it was a satellite.
That night when it happened to me, I walked out down my driveway, and I'm like, oh, my God, Tim, my brother, take a look at this. He's 20 feet away. By the time he gets to me, I'm watching this thing in the sky, and my eye is trained on it, and it stops. And he's like, where is it? I take my eye away from the sky, of course, and look back so I can confirm to myself that I still see this thing. I'm like, okay, look, Tim, it's right there. It's that slightly brighter star. He's like, I see it, okay. And then it doesn't move for a while because it caught it. I'm like, that's not a satellite. And once I said that, it stopped. That's when that happened. It was that weird telekinetic confirmation that there was something going on. And then the moment he walked away is when it did its zigzag move in the sky and shot off in the other direction. It was remarkable.
Wow. You know what's remarkable is that we broadcasted live tonight. Thank you for holding on all this time, Matt. And any last words for Third Phase of Moon? I want to get to a bunch of callers, but what's the last word for Third Phase of Moon viewers? Go ahead.
Last words has been, it's like others have said, we are not alone. This has happened to us. If those out there think that we sound either stressed out or panicky about this, it's because we talk about this. It's something we've experienced, and it's a jarring experience in our lives. And we would love for you to empathize with us because we just want you to feel safe as well, knowing that we can give you information. And if you think you're crazy, trust me, you're not alone. All right? Stay safe out there, everyone.
Wow, that's what it's all about, people. And that's right. Stay safe. Have your eyes on the skies. Things are going down. And let me tell you, things are changing. And I got a feeling some people aren't happy about this, that the word's getting out. And people are enlightened that we are not alone, people. We're not alone. Get over it. If you think we are not alone, then, man, you got another thing coming. It's happening right now. Blake Cousins, share this radio show. Share this link. This is Blake Cousins because we'll be back next week, Friday. And that's what it's all about. Stay tuned to YouTube for daily updates, Third Phase of Moon, the most watched YouTube channel in regards to this phenomenon. Check it out, people. Signing out. We'll be in Los Angeles reporting 4th of July. Hopefully we could broadcast there. We have our eyes in the skies. We know UFOs will be up there. Submit it to us if you capture anything amazing. Blake Cousins, thank you very much.
So there's a delay, so I'll give you a second before I start speaking. Anyways, I was flying some radio control helicopters, and outside, and it was the middle of the day, nice day, beautiful day, and as I'm flying it, I'm looking up, and I see what appeared to be a silver sphere in the sky, and it was floating south, real slow, and I couldn't really tell how high up it was. I'd say maybe 2,000 or 3,000 feet, something like that. And floating real slow, it made a turn southeast real quick. It didn't like blow with the wind, it just shifted. And it kept going. I watched it for as long as I could, and there was a couple other people that saw it too. And I know, I wasn't an airplane. I know it wasn't a helicopter for sure because I know what a helicopter looks like. I'm flying a radio control helicopter right then. It wasn't a balloon, I don't believe, because it wasn't blowing with the wind. It was under its own control. So that was quite weird. The second time was about a year ago, a little more than a year ago. Me and my cousin are sitting out on the porch, and we're looking out past like these trees, and we both see what appeared to be a orange flame in the sky, and it was floating real slow. And as it's going, it actually shoots out a small white orb, like a ball, and it shot out real fast, and then it stopped real fast, and it looked just like any star in the sky. I mean, if I wouldn't have seen it go, I wouldn't, think twice about it. But the orange flame kept going real slow, and the ball stayed there. And I said to my cousin, I was like, did you see that ball come out? And he was like, yeah, I was just about to ask you if you saw it. And, weird. I mean, I don't understand what else it could be.
Well, there's a question for you. Describe this ball. Did it make it sounds like you can't describe it. It doesn't look like a balloon, obviously, right?
The first one, no, it didn't look like a balloon. Wasn't making any noise at all. I just hear it. It was just silently. Like I said, it didn't. It like
all right.
made a.
I'm getting some feedback there, but I appreciate the call in 330. When you're flying these drones around, you're enthusiasts out there flying drones. You're always having your eyes up in there on the sky. So there's a lot more opportunity for people to see these UFOs while that's going on. It's cool. These enthusiasts, stargazers, drone enthusiasts, they're looking up. So they're more bound to see a UFO, other than most common people that walk the streets with their heads looking down at the ground. It's the worst thing you could possibly do. Hold your head high, people. Let's get to it. Next caller, you're on live. I hope you got a news story. I want to hear good news stories, so let's get to it. 606, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Yep, gotcha.
Hey, can you hear me, Blake?
Yeah, I got you, loud and clear. What's your name?
Hey, this is Matt Lowe.
All right, Matt.
I tried calling in the other day, man, and I couldn't get through. But I had a story I wanted to share about this the whole UFO thing, man. I figure I'll just go ahead and jump right into it. I'm 31 years old, man, and never ever
differential going on. It's almost like time travel. So let's get to it. We've got calls calling up. We want more phone calls calling in. We want good information. So we're going to get to people right now. Let's bring them in. I want to hear news stories, things I've never heard before. That's why we broadcast. So if you got something you want to share tonight, that's incredible. Let's get to it. Area code 214. You're live, Third Phase Moon. Welcome to the show. Yep, 214. You there? Look at this. Who knows what's going on? They want to cut it. They want to cut the feeds. Like I said, I want to hear new stuff. Let's maybe that's what they're trying to do, suppress this stuff. Who knows? 330, we're live.
330 right here. Can you hear me?
I got you, man. Where are you calling in from?
Calling in from Ohio, Warren, Ohio. I've been listening to your show for a while. Very interested in it. I don't know if you got my messages that I sent you on your. But I've seen a couple of UFOs twice actually. The first time, 2009. I was outside and I had these radio control helicopters, and I was flying one. And as I'm looking up, I see what appeared to be a silver sphere in the sky, and it was. He's still there because the phone's real silent.
Yeah, I got you, man. Hey, thanks for calling in. What was your name again? I didn't get that.
My name's Kevin. Like I said, Kevin, I sent you a couple of messages on your Third Phase of Moon Facebook page.
All right, Kevin. So it looks like these Apache helicopters are like.
No, I was flying. I
never in my entire life have I ever seen a UFO until about a month ago, and my wife and I, we live in a place up here on the hill, real close to the mountain, and it's one of the most beautiful places in East Tennessee. That it gets really, really clear at night. The skies do, and you just see all kinds of stars. It's really awesome, and we take our dogs out at night and stuff like that. And we were just out one night, and we happened to notice there was like certain stars that you tried to look at, and it would be hard to focus on them. And as we got to looking, we noticed that this one was moving, and it just moved real, real slow across the top of our house, and then disappeared right before our eyes. Well, I started paying attention and started going out like every night and paying closer and closer attention. And I noticed this started up until, like I said, this happened for the first time in my life. I saw this about a month ago. And here in the last couple weeks, it's been almost every single day. And even when I called in the other day, I was outside pacing around, listening to the show, waiting to get on. And even while I was waiting to talk to you, I saw one. And it's just been happening more and more. But the strangest thing, Blake, was just the other night, I would say 3 nights ago, I wouldn't even have noticed it except I happened to just look up and seen something black out a star. And it was a completely like solid black triangle that was just a little bit darker than the rest of the sky.
Third Phase of Moon, Blake Cousins. Welcome back, world. We are broadcasting live again. It is Friday night. And let me tell you, there are higher powers out there, and they try to suppress this show. Let me tell you, just within the past hour, who knows who tried to call in. But let me tell you, we get calls from around the world, people. And that's what we love. People sharing their UFO experiences to us, to the world, live, Rob, as we do it. And we're doing it again, but let me tell you, I got a feeling there are people being tracked, being followed around the world in regards to this. They know the people that have the vital information. They know the people's phone numbers. They know where they're calling from. You have cell phones. You got major vital information. You want to share it to us right now, Third Phase of Moon. I got a feeling there are people right now in higher powers that want to shut that down. And they could shut it down. Let me tell you that, people. So what we're going to do is we're going to break rules, people. We're going to not shut anything down. We want you to share your vital information to us, Third Phase of Moon. Stand by. This is Blake Cousins, and it is July 1st, 2016, 7:04 p.m. Hawaii time. Welcome, world. Blake Cousins. Stand by, everybody. Third Phase Moon, Blake Cousins broadcasting live. And yeah, it is actually July 2nd on the East Coast. It's amazing how we broadcast live from around the world with a massive time